We want to find median of a set. So let me remind you again that median means the middle number. So every time you forget, you must remind yourself of the activity we did that day. Where we want to find the middle height, we got to arrange you from smallest to largest or tall to tallest, right? So I have to rearrange the numbers from the smallest one to the greatest one. Okay, so arrange them first before you can find the middle. So 25, then I have 19. I miss out on 19, 25, 30, 32, and then a 35. Okay, always a good habit to check the total number 24689, 24689. So you know you didn't miss out any. And then like what I mentioned, we cross out from the extremes if the numbers are small, and then we can find the middle to be 19. So part A, median is 19. So I'm just looking for that. Okay, part B is the mode. So like I mentioned the last time, mode means the most popular one. Most popular. Most frequently occurred. Most chosen one. So if you look, there is only one number that repeated twice. The rest are all single numbers. So the mode is 16 because I have two of them. Okay, if you happen to have both that is of the same frequency, that means they happen the same number of times, then both are the modes. So you can have more than one mode. Okay, third one, part C, I want the mean. So mean, you add up everything and then you divide by the total number of data you have. So go and add up all the data you have. Divide by 9 of them since you have 9. So what's the answer you get? 12? 21.33. Okay, or 21.3. Okay, so anything more than 3 sig fig, you'll be marked correct. Then last one, they say out of these three, which one is the best representation of the center? Best measure of central tendency means which one is the best to measure the center, right? So if you look at the set of data, it seems to be that this part here is pretty balanced, but you have one very small one as compared to all this. So that data 5 is an outlier. Okay, so because you have an outlier, then median is the best. If not, it will always be mean, because mean take into account of every data. But median is only if you have the very small one or very big one, then you choose median. So we will write median. Since there is an outlier, which will affect the calculation of mean more. Okay, so if mean is affected, then we cannot use mean, we got to use median. We will rarely use mode unless you are a supplier of consumer products like shoes, like shirts. You know, you need to make a lot of popular stuff, then we choose mode. Other than that, we rarely choose mode. Okay, so that one you need to be careful. Okay, so if you write median, you get 1 mark. Okay, and then the reasoning is 1 mark. Okay, so all these 1 mark, 1 mark, 1 mark. Okay, although the total marks here don't matter, I just to tell you to work harder or to revise better. So today I should have 30. 30. So just Arjun not here lah. So Yang Yi is still not here. The newest student. Phase C is very new already, right? So we still waiting for one more student. Okay, can I like this peacefulness. Okay, next one. Let's move on. Okay, if you are given intervals data, these are called group data, where you group all your data into classes. Okay, different kinds of intervals. Okay, because there's so many data, you can't list them one by one like what we did for first question. So we put them into classes, the different groups, and then I want to calculate mean. When you need to calculate mean, you always need a data to calculate. But I don't know what's the data, so you got to find the mean value. So how to find mean value? You take the two endpoints of the range and then you half it. So this is a 25. Okay, then this one same thing. This would be a 35. And then by guessing, you will know that this is 45, this is 55, this is 65. But of course, you don't guess, you calculate. Okay, so once you know the mid value, and they tell you you have 28 adults that sort of took 25 minutes to complete the challenge in this class. We take the mid value, right? I have 84 of them who spent 35 minutes to complete the challenge, 62 of them spent 45 minutes, and so on. So you have to multiply 25 by 28. A lot of you just took the mid value and then you divide by 5. Okay, that's wrong. So be careful. That's the only thing that you make mistakes. So mean, I need to total up because I have 28 of them spending 25 minutes on each challenge. I have 84 of them spending 35 minutes on each challenge. 62 of them spending 45 minutes on the challenge. 21 of them 55 minutes and 5 of them 65 minutes. So this gives me the total time of the 200 adults. There's a total of 200 of them. So you divide by 200. Okay, so when you see class intervals, you got to be careful in your calculation. What's the answer? 39.55. Okay. Okay, next one, I want to find median. I don't know what is their actual minutes for each adult, but I know that there's 28 of them who falls in this range. Where did the pen sound come from? Okay, so in order to find the median, I need to find the median position. If it's confusing for you, you change, instead of writing median, you can write middle position so that you don't mix the two up. So I told you all the formula is n plus 1 divided by 2. So in order to find middle, like 5%, the middle is the third one, right? Because 5 plus 1 divided by 2. So the third one, right? So if I have 200 of them, the middle is 100.5. Meaning I'm trapped between the 100th person and the 101st person. So I got to locate where is my 100th and my 101. So I go to my data now and I check. My first 28 person is here, right? So the last person standing in this class is the 28th person. Last person standing here is my 112. So if you just Make a guess. You know 100 falls within here. My 100% is here. My 101 is also here. So which is the median interval? It is this class. So the median interval is that class you see over there. So be very careful of the inequality you are writing. This one has no equal sign at the bottom, but this one has. So when you write carefully. Okay? So this one is the one that many of you got wrong. Okay, but you should get it right the next time. Hey, we didn't greet each other. Okay, never mind. Later we'll thank each other. Too messy already just now. Oh, y'all didn't go for... Yeah, y'all are Sec 2s. The camps. Y'all miss out on the camps. Do y'all miss camp? You don't know. You want camp every year? Y'all so... It's good to be young. Every time I go for a camp, I'll die for 3 days after that because it's so tiring. Okay, wait. Some of you still copying, right? Okay, so as we go on to the next chapter, there will still be mean, mode, median calculation. So I'm not going to spend too much time revising this one. Okay, next one. Done. Okay, this one. This one, like what I mentioned to you many times already, this is a histogram. Why is it not a bar chart? Why is it not a bar chart? Bar chart got gaps. Histogram is continuous. The data is continuous. There's no gap in between. But for bar chart, we are talking about different things. So there's a gap in between. Okay. So they say which interval contain the median height? So we use the same method like what we did just now. Median, middle position. Why suddenly my pen so thin? Okay, median position is n plus 1 divided by 2. And I have 60 of them. So 60 plus 1 divided by 2. That's the 30.5%, or rather the trees. So I need to locate my 30th tree and my 31st tree. So first thing first, for the height of 100 to 120, okay, maybe I will do the frequency table first so that it's easier for me to see. Right, so the first one is height. You can let it be H or X, any letter you want. Then this one is frequency. So for the height between 100 to 120, okay, remember the second inequality got equal. There's 4 of them. So that's the first one. Then the next range is from 120 to 140. The second one has equal sign. And there's a total of 5 of them. Okay, then we go on to the next one. There's 8. So this is your frequency table. Okay, I need to write smaller. Now my pen is too thick. $11. Then okay, wait, I got to string this, no space. Okay, so then I have 180 to 200, which I have 14 of them. And then you continue your rows. Next one is 200 to 220, which is 12 of them. And then the last column is from 220 to 240. I have 5 of them. No, 6 of them. If you total up and check this column, right? You total up and check, it should add up to 60. If it doesn't, something is wrong somewhere. And because there's nothing here, you don't need to go and write a column and write 0 there. There's nothing that represented there. So you don't need to represent that. That is not required. Okay, so this is the frequency table. How to find the middle position? My 4th tree is in this class. My 9th one is at the end of this interval. The last person here is my 17. Then I add another 11. My last person here is my 28. And then my last person here is my 42. So I want to look for my 30th and 31st. I know that it's here. Okay, so my median interval is between 180 to 200. Okay, some of you wrote this. Not that we can't, but it's not as professional as this because this is very accurate. This one doesn't tell me whether to include the 180 or 200. Okay, it's not very accurate, but this one tells me that I don't include 180, but I include anything greater than 180 and exactly at 200. But this one doesn't tell me that. So it's not as good as the answer as this. So write it in this way. The letter you choose on your own. You can choose it to be any letter you want. Or if you don't want, you just write height in between. Also can. Okay? No hard and fast rule on that. Okay, last one is the mean. Part C. To calculate mean, if it's an interval, remember you need the mid value. So go and add these two up, divide by 2, you get 110. Add these two up, 130. Then you know it's maybe roughly this. Okay, so these are the mid value. You need to always go and calculate the mid value. If not, you don't know what is the data to use in this range. So we use this to estimate the average here. So what is the total height? I have 110 of them. I have 4 of them at 110 cm. So write that down. I have 130 of them. No, I have 5 of them at 130 cm. So keep adding. Okay, I assume you dutifully do until the last one. I have 6 of them with 230 cm height. So total 60 trees. Total there's 60 of them. So if you can go and calculate, I remember some of your answer were like 179 or 178 point something. Okay, all can. So just make sure it's 3SF or something more than 3. Okay, so no matter what diagram I give you, you should be able to calculate the mean, mode, median. If I ask you what is the modal interval, are you able to tell me? Which is the most popular interval? Which interval is the most popular? The tallest one. So you will write 180 to 200. So this is the modal if they ask. Okay, so if I ask you mean, mode, median, I give you any kind of diagram, you should be able to calculate.
This one?
Yeah.
Why can't we put... Oh wait, never mind.
Sure. Okay, the last question is the interesting one that many of you left blank. Okay, good. Okay, I told you all the other day that you can let number of males be X. Okay, if you prefer to let it be N, you can use any letter you want. So therefore, number of females, don't let it be another letter. They say 4 more, you add 4 more. So just X plus 4. Don't go and let it be Y. That is so confusing. Okay? So because you let male be X, then number of females is X plus 4. Then the total number of students would be 2X plus 4 because you total them up. Okay? So knowing all this, now you can calculate, you need to solve for the total number of students, right? So what I do is, they say the mean height for the whole group is 171. So I can find the total height first. The total height of all the students would be 171 multiplied by 2x plus 4. Because these are the total number of students I have. Each of them are at an average height of 171. So this gives me the total. So if you want, you can expand it out. So that gives you a 342x plus 684. Okay, you can simplify first. And then I know that the total height of all the students should break down into total height of girls, females, and males. So I'm going to section them out. So total for female is 162 times x plus 4. Okay, this is for females. And then male would be 183. And then I have x of them. So these two should tally because they add up to the total height of all the students. So next is just solving algebra. Okay, so that is what? 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so in order to simplify the problem, then of course I will minus 342x on both sides. So this thing is gone. So I'm only left with 3x. Okay, you can skip steps. I'm just being very explicit here. I can subtract the 648 on both sides. And then I get, take out 50, 36, huh? Okay, so with that, x is just 12, but x is the number of males. I want total number of students. So male is 12, female is 16 because it's 4 more, so there should be 28 altogether. Okay, so 1 mark for being able to equate them together without the expansion. 1 mark for the mathematics you do here. 1 mark for the x you found. And then 1 mark for the answer you found. Okay, so if all is good, this one you can also file into your file. That is what color? Black, huh? Green. Okay, sorry. So you put it into the file, update your scores, and then your correction is also done, so you can tick at the box. So keep filing so that your things don't go missing. Then update your content page. The date should be 9th of January. What do you wonder about it? Why dots? Cannot use other things, is it? Why specifically dots? What? You all remember there's another kind of diagram that we don't use dot, we use any other thing? Pictogram, right? But what is the problem with pictogram?
It takes very long to write. Like you need to draw.
Difficult to draw. Then must ensure same size also, right? right? So why do you think they choose dots then?
Because it's easy.
Easy because you just, right? Then you don't need to say, oh, my dot bigger than his dot. You can decide the size of a dot by just using your marker, everything the same, right? Unless you purposely leave it there for a long time, then your dot like so big, right? But is definitely easier to represent than pictogram. Okay, it's not difficult to draw, it's just dots. Everybody know how to dot it, right? Just that some of your dots looks interesting, trust me. Okay, so that answers your question. Why dots? Okay, any other thing you wonder about dot diagram?
What color?
Depends on your pen color. You use red pen, then red lah. Okay, what else? Anything else you wonder about it? Why are dots? Why are dots circular?
What is that question?
It's not? Then what shape is it?
A dot is a circle.
A dot is a square.
But do you all know that when they say circle, right? When they say circle, right? They are only actually referring to the space trapped by that round line that you see there. That space there already. Okay, but if I remove this space that is trapped there, it's the circumference of it, that's all. It's a yeah, you can see it's a line that you know join from end to end, from the two end. Okay, good. Okay, but okay, no more thing you wonder already, we move on. Okay, so this is a sample of the HDB flat in a block, and then they go and count the number of units from the first to the fourth level, and then fifth to 8, and then 9 to 12. Yeah, bless you. So this is how it will look like if you represent them by dot diagram. Okay, quite repetitive. But what is the thing you need to take note when you draw dot diagram?
They must all be the exact same size.
Not very easy to be exact same size lah. You try your best. Okay, but what other thing you notice about dot diagram? Equal spacing. Meaning your first dot must all appear on the same line. You cannot draw the dot like that. Then you can never compare them. So when you draw the dots, ensure that you align the dots. Okay, wait, let me highlight it. So this layer for the first dot, the second dot. So you got to ensure okay, that the dots are aligned, okay, to the same height. Okay, the spacing, you try your best. I'm not asking you to use ruler, must 1 cm draw like that, but just make sure it's about the same, at the same height, so that it is easy to compare. Okay, for ease of comparison. Then you can compare by their height to see whether who has more, easier. Because if you were to draw like that, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, if your dot so small, not easy to see. So if you want, you can, you know, shade it a little bit. Okay, so if you have 6 like that, then you have another 6 like that. Both 6 dots, but you never align them, then you can't tell they are equal. So the alignment is very important. Make sure they are aligned. The first dot must align to the first dot. Okay, so this example is just to show you that you have to align your dots. Yes. Okay. You need the pass? I haven't taken the 2026 pass. Okay, so let's move on. This one. Frequency. The dots are your frequency. It tells you how many counts of each data you have. So if you have 5 dots under the column, you have 5 of them. That's what it means. That's all. So if they want you to represent this, okay, quite Can we do this now together? You can use ruler. You need to have a 29, 30. Actually, I think it's better to... Let me draw the longer. Okay, you use ruler. Ah. Actually, I have ruler here. Okay, so all the empty space, there are no dots there, which is fine, but it's good for you to section them out, still represent them anyway, because you can see the spread of your data better. If you just ignore this and squeeze 35 and 39 together, then you cannot see the whole spread of your data. Okay, so good to include those space in between. So this is your data, and the vertical axis is your frequency, how many you have. So 29, I only have 1. So this is done. 30, I have 2. So make sure you align them. So if exam asks you to draw dot diagram, you should laugh, because it's very easy. Yeah, to yourself. To yourself. Okay, sensible drawing. Your dots don't be too different in size. Okay? Difficult or not? Should be okay, right? Why you never use ruler? From here, right, actually we can also do your mean, mode, median calculation. So if I want to calculate mean, you can add up all the data you have. So I have 129 I have 230. If you want, you can straight away write 60. Okay, I have 131. So this is what you always do. And then the last, up to the very last one, you have 443. Right? So you total everything up, divide by the total number of data you have. So total number of data, you have to add all this up. Or you count all the dots you have. So how many you have? 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24. So you divide by 24. So this is mean calculation. So even if I give you dot diagram, you can calculate mean. You can tell me what's the mode. Which one is the most popular data? 41, because it's the tallest. Most data, it has the most highest number of people who chose it. So in this case, you see this is the one with the 5. So mode is 41. Yeah? Okay, mode is 41. The most popular one, or the most frequently occurred one. And then the last one is median. I want to find the middle number. If you have a dot diagram, you can also do cancellation. So you cancel 1 from the extreme. Okay, just keep cancelling 1 from the extreme. Just keep cancelling. Then you reach 2 of them. That if you cancel them, your median is right in their middle. So since both of them are 40, even if you average them, it's still 40. So your median is 40. So you can do by cancellation for dots, or you can find middle position. So middle position, like what I say, is n plus 1 divided by 2. Is 12.5. So it's between your 12 number and your 13. So you go and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this is your, okay, you can say this 11. This is your 12 number. This is your 13. So it's between them. So there are 2 ways you can find median, either by crossing out the data, find the middle, or use the formula to help you. So any data I give you, you can calculate mean, mode, median. So median is 40, mode, then your mean. I don't know, do you calculate what's the value? Anybody calculated what is the mean? Never, huh? Okay, so remember, even if it's dot diagram, this is how we'll do mean, mode, median. Okay, now you go to the next example, and then can you try A, B, C, D on your own? A, B, C, D. You look at until question something, right? Question 5. Anything that we don't do is your homework for the weekend. Okay, but it's not difficult. Just read the data and calculate what they ask you to calculate. How many hours per day did most of the students spend on using the computer? They are asking for mode. How many hours per day did most of the students spend on computer? Only 4 hours, meh? Done? Okay, let's double check your answers. Mode means the most popular number of hours spent on the computer, and we see it's 4 because there's 9 people spending 4 hours on the computer. So that's why answer is 4. Okay, percentage who did not use the computer at all, meaning those who spend 0 hours on it. So I have 4 of them out of 25. If you multiply by 100%, that will be 16%. Okay, middle position, I have 25 of them. I add 1 divide by 2, that's the 13th person. So if I go and calculate, this is my first, my second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. My 13 is here, which is in the group which spend 4 hours. So median is 4 hours. And then mean is to calculate the total number of hours spent by the 25 adults, right? So there's 4 who spend 0 hours. So that's why it's a 0 here. Okay, 3 who spend 1 hour each. So this is a 3. Okay, 5 who spend 3 hours each. So this is a 15. 9 who spend 4 hours each. So this is a 36. And then 2 who spend 5 hours each. That's a 10. And then finally 2 who spend 6 hours each. So this is a 12. So you total up the total number of hours spent, divide by 25 of them. Each of them spend about 3.04 hours. Okay? So this is a mean mode median calculation. Not so complicated, right? Yeah, should get better. So one last question they ask you. The dot diagram shows how the data is being distributed by scattering the data along the number line. So what other observations can you see? Okay, if I were to try to estimate the spread, that means if let's say I were to join the topmost, okay, it seems to suggest that most of my data centers around 3 to 4 hours. Okay, which suggests that most of the people spend about 3 to 4 hours on the computer on a daily basis, which is true because that's the mean calculation. So majority of your data seems to spread around this part. Okay, so this is one observation you can make. You could even say things like nobody used 2 hours at all. Okay, most of the students spend at least 3 hours on it. Okay, so some other observations you can write. Okay, so today's homework.
What?
But now it's 9:12. You have 8 minutes to get started on the homework, which is the 5 questions you see on the next page. 5 questions only. Why you're 5? All like that.
In sync.
Yeah, so you can just, no need to do on foolscap paper, just straight away do on the blank spaces provided. I'm sure some of you 8 minutes can finish all. So you got no homework. Or you can save some for the weekend. Okay, you have some time.